So, it got a little bit better the latter part of 2022, but now back in the beginning part of 2023, we're back to seeing multiple offers. We're seeing lots of activity with our listings, and it's just, until we have more listings come out, it's going to continue to be like that. And it's such a good time to list your house.
Yeah.
So.
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Welcome. This is The Closing Table. My name is Kevin McIntosh. Joining us here in studio, very special episode today. We're joined by Miss Missy Lord. How you doing, Missy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. Thanks for coming in here, actually feeling your energy today.
Yeah,
we appreciate that.
Thank you.
So let's get into some of your experience, things that you've done that led you up to this point. Now, you've gotten your degree in psychology. Let's start there.
Okay.
What was your plans initially when you got your degree in psychology?
Yeah. So, I ended up getting a degree in communications, but my minor was psychology. I started out in psychology because I love people. I love trying to understand people. When I got really close to graduating, I didn't end up wanting to go all the way to becoming a doctor. So I switched to communications, but always wanted to be working with people. And the whole goal was to be helping people. To be a psychologist, I wanted to be a child psychologist to help them. So that was my original plan.
Okay. What rooted you to have that interest initially? What made you want to go?
I'm not sure. I just was always interested in helping others and just trying to figure out how we all work. Yeah. And, I feel like a lot of people that I've met over time have needed a little bit of help. And I just thought psychology was really interesting and a way to help others.
Nice. So communication, then psychology in your master's program, but you're still helping people. You're still in that lane right now. But before you even got into real estate, you spent 20 years in sales. Can you talk about the experience in sales and how that parallels to where you are now?
Yeah, so basically right out of college, I got my first job, and it ended up being a career that I was with almost 20 years. And it was basically advertising and branding people's businesses in the corporate world. And I loved it, and I learned so much. And I was basically branding businesses, and I loved it. And so it kind of eventually is morphed into really helping me be able to brand people's homes instead of businesses. But that's what I did for almost 20 years. So,
that seems like a very easy transition into real estate, branding other people's businesses. Now you're branding your own business in real estate. Yeah,
actually not only branding my business, but really what I tell my sellers is that if there's 5 houses on the market, how do I make yours stand out the most? And that's where all the branding and advertising research and my experience has really played a big role. So it's helped me with helping my sellers make more money on their homes.
Very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Also, by the way, I've learned a lot about you and just a lot about real estate in general, just, looking you up. You explained something in one of your videos, homestead versus non-homestead and the effects that it has on property taxes in Michigan. Yeah. Can you explain the differences?
Yeah, for sure. I know if you're not a homeowner, even if you are a homeowner, a lot of people don't really realize it, but we can only claim one primary home when we own a home in Michigan.
Gotcha.
So homestead is for tax purposes. It's the way that we get a lower tax rate, and we can only claim one in Michigan. So if you own a home in Michigan, you can claim that one as your primary homestead, get lower taxes on it. But if you buy a second property, if you have a lake house, that would be considered a non-homestead property, and you'd pay a higher tax rate. But when you buy a home, you just have to make sure that is in homestead if it's your primary home to get your lower tax rate.
So this isn't something that just automatically applies when you get a house. You have to actually go somewhere and get that.
Good question.
Claim.
So basically, as long as you're buying a home that was primary 100% homestead when you bought it. Most of the time it just transfers over. You just want to make sure it did. But if you buy someone's lake house, for example, and that was non-homestead, you'll just want to make sure that the county knows that it's your primary home and they need to switch it to homestead.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Make sure you're taking notes, because I am too, because I didn't know that. And that's some things that can save you some money in the long run.
Yes.
Definitely. You received a lot of different acknowledgments and awards. A few that I see, top 1% Realtor in Michigan, top $10 volume team leader, top 5 highest transactions team leader. I'm pretty sure the list goes on and on. Can we talk about which award or acknowledgement meant the most to you?
Yeah. So I feel very grateful where I am today. I mean, coming from the corporate world, I've always been very like recognition driven, goal oriented. I have my goals up. And I guess, being able to, the reason why I got into real estate, we didn't really talk about it, was I wanted to give back, and I wanted to feel like my life was more of giving purpose and helping others.
There
and I feel like having done this, selling over 100 homes and serving 100 families, I've really been able to make a difference in those lives. And doing it 100 of those in 1 year just for myself has been a really big achievement, because I've been able to help over 100 families.
Nice.
Now that I've got a team, now I can see our goals and how I can help others get to their goals. And that's really been rewarding as well, to try to help them meet their goals, and at the same time we're helping others, so it's a win-win.
There it is. There it is. I told you, you're killing you're doing two things with one activity. Yeah, there you go. So are there any awards or acknowledgments that you haven't achieved that you would like to achieve, or would it just be? Yes.
This year our goal is to sell 150 homes.
Nice.
And we work for RE/MAX, and there's a diamond award that our team is really working hard to achieve. We were so close in 2022, and so 2023 is going to be the year for us to reach diamond. That's what it's called. So,
and that's based on your volume, your amount, total sales?
Well, RE/MAX does their recognition based on total commissions earned. I think they're the only ones that do that, but we're excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Going back to your activity and your engagement on social media and YouTube and things of that nature, you're everywhere. I mean, not just YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, you have your own website. How are you keeping yourself consistent on these? I mean, you're not just on there, but you're consistently on there. How do you have the time?
Good question. And that's one of the things I've been working on, but I have been consistent because it's one of the best ways. When I work with my sellers, my buyers, one of the best ways we can get their message out and, their homes out there on the market is reaching them with social media. And so I really spend a lot of time to try to maximize the amount of people that they're seeing, and so I can get them as much money for their homes as possible. So I have been working too much the last few years, so I do all of my own social media marketing, and I do it myself.
Really?
Yeah, and
that's what I wasn't expecting.
I do because I am so particular about the type of message that goes out and the way it looks, because the way that I'm presenting someone's home online directly reflects how much I think the public thinks the house is worth. So if the way that it's presented really makes a big difference. So I spend a lot of time on it. Eventually I'll have some help, but I just make sure to fit in because it's super important.
You are on top of it, then. I just knew you were going to say, I have a team that helps me out, but
not yet.
Oh man, tip my hat off to you. Great job.
You.
So are there any other platforms, marketing platforms or strategies that you use that aren't in the digital field that you feel like still work?
I mean, for the people that we're not reaching with social media, there's always going to be the old school traditional approach of direct mail. We do some postcards. We do, I do one billboard just for branding.
I was going to ask if you did, really.
Yeah, we have a magazine also that reaches a lot of people that can highlight, property highlights for my clients. And then, so we do magazines as well. So if we're not reaching people on the social media realm, we can reach them with print as well.
Nice.
So
nice.
It's a mix.
You did mention that you contribute to a lot of causes. Giving back to people is very important to you.
Yes.
Out of all the causes, organizations that you participate and contribute to, what means the most to you?
Yeah. So there's a lot out there, but we at RE/MAX really focus on the Children's Miracle Network. Every single closing that we have, we donate a portion of our commission to the Children's Miracle Network. In 2022, RE/MAX of Michigan gave over $333,000 to the Children's Miracle Network, and that goes toward the 4 children's hospitals in Michigan. And we see a direct result of how that helps, those kids. So I love to be part of that.
There it is.
Of that as well.
There
so,
it is.
Yeah.
And what market are you currently serving, by the way?
Yeah, so I'm in the Lansing, Michigan area. I'm licensed in Michigan, but mostly the mid-Michigan area, Capital City, Lansing, East Lansing, and surrounding areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just for our audience and for my own curiosity, what are home prices currently looking like? Any kind of average home? I mean, I know you probably didn't prepare for. I kind of just throwing this out there. That's
okay.
But
well, actually, one of the things I think is really important right now that people know, because I feel like the media has really made it sound like real estate has been tanking over the last 6 months. But I don't think if you're not in real estate and not doing it every day, I don't think you realize how much it has increased even in the last 3 months. So, last year in 2022, we were seeing multiple offers. The problem right now is we have not enough homes on the market to meet the demand of the buyers. So, it got a little bit better the latter part of 2022, but now back in the beginning part of 2023, we're back to seeing multiple offers. We're seeing lots of activity with our listings, and it's just until we have more listings come out, it's going to continue to be like that. And it's such a good time to list your house.
Yes, yes. I heard from previous realtors that, I mean, even specifically in this area, they're getting to a point to where there's not enough homes, enough inventory, even for the amount of realtors that are actively out there.
Yes.
But you remain amongst the top. Can you explain what it takes for you to remain in that position?
I just think it's consistency with what you do every single day. And the other thing is doing it for a reason of helping people instead of I'm doing it for myself. That is truly where I'm coming from, is from a place of giving and how can I help this person, even if they don't list with me or, buy a house with me, how can I help this person today? If you're coming from that place, it's always going to be working. But consistency, always, it's like a snowball. You've got these listings, and then that leads to this and this and this. You always have to be mindful of that, and it just keeps going. But it's a great time still in the real estate world.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So would you say we're going through a market correction right now?
Yes, for sure. I mean, there's definitely lots of things out in the news right now. We needed a market correction. It could definitely not keep going at that pace.
The way it was going during the pandemic was, I backed away from even looking towards getting a home.
Right. So a lot of people did. So then, interest rates went up, and now they're kind of creeping back down. All these buyers are coming back in the market, but the problem is a lot of sellers are just kind of waiting. Yeah. And so we're just all kind of waiting around, but yeah.
Do you have any advice for anyone who's looking to buy currently in the Lansing market?
I always tell buyers that you really need to buy when it's a right time for you. So, I sit down with a lot of buyers for new home buyer consultations, and they just say, the interest rates are so high right now. And, and I kind of remind them, it's so, it just depends on what time of life you're in. Back in the day, 6.5% was actually a great rate to refinance. So it's just all relative, right?
Yeah,
and so my best advice is to buy a house when you're ready, when you're prepared, and you're very familiar with how much down you want, and know the process. Work with someone that really knows what's going on in today's market, not over the last year, because it's constantly changing so quickly.
Correct. And you're not just in a position of helping people when they're ready to buy immediately.
Right.
I'm assuming you would help someone if they're interested in buying maybe a year from now, 6 months from now. You help them in that type of way to prepare?
That's what I always tell people. I say, whether it's now or 5 years from now, I'm going to be here to help you.
There you go.
It's more of a long-term type of relationship usually when I work with my clients. So there's never any pressure to do anything with me. It's how can I help you? And then that just leads, to wherever they end up going. So,
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming, Missy.
Yeah, of course.
And
Thanks for
with
having
your energy.
me.
Before we get out of here, if you have any last words and or want to tell the people how they can get in contact with you, please do so now.
Yeah, for sure. So Missy Lord with Remax. I'm in the DeWitt office. Most of my social media is at Missy Lord on Instagram, Lansing Area Real Estate Missy Lord for the Facebook pages. And then my website's missylord.com where they can contact me as well.
All right. Thanks you so
for having
much
me.
For being here, Missy. And if you are watching right now, please do us a favor. If you've gotten this far on YouTube, hit the like button for us. Hit the share button also. And also, please hit the subscribe button also. And if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, any other podcast platforms, please do the same. Give us a like, 5-star rating, and subscribe so you can be caught up with our latest content. And we got to leave a question for the audience, by the way, Missy. This is what I'm curious to know. How did you come to choose your current lender or the lender that you chose to purchase your home? Let us know. Go off in the comments. Other than that, we'll see you next time.